Gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of Paranormal Buzz Radio or its sponsors. Use of any materials produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is strictly prohibited. For information on everything Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Listener discretion is advised.
Paranormal Buzz Radio is proud to present Girls vs. Ghosts Media's The Dr. Gina Show with Gina Marie. Gina is a psychic medium and an intuitive counselor who has a bachelor's degree in psychology, master's degree in counseling, and a doctorate degree in occupational therapy. The Dr. Gina Show is live on Spreaker every other Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Pacific, right here on Paranormal Buzz Radio. Here's your host, Gina Marie.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dr. Gina Show. You know, we missed last week. Everyone was like, oh, we missed because it was Mercury retrograde. And if you know me, I don't know if I don't really buy into that Mercury retrograde. We missed because it was bad weather and we weren't able to connect. So thank you for listening tonight, and sorry about last was 2 Mondays ago. So tonight's show is about mind, body, and soul, the balance. So once again, I'm in New Jersey. So if you hear the cat purring, the cat in New Jersey likes to just sit right on my lap. So he gets right into the speaker. So if you hear some noise, it is him, and he's purring. Shady. So he's hanging out with me tonight. So I want to thank Shay for coming and helping me, and Matt for hosting this show. And you can find them on Paranormal Buzz Radio, and that is on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. So I will be talking for the usual 40 minutes, and then I bring on Shay. So chat is open right now, so feel free to make your comments in chat, any comments you want to say, and you guys can all interact during this show. And then when I bring Shay back on, we will read your questions and go over them. And of course, we'll always do a universal reading. So that's how it goes. And if you've never listened to my show before, I will do a lot of channeling. So when I start talking about my subject, sometimes it'll be me, regular Gina, or my friend likes to coin it, Gina from the block. And it's because I definitely grew up in a very city-type environment, I guess I should say. So sometimes I am Gina from the block, and sometimes I'm Dr. Gina, because I have my doctorate degree, and sometimes you'll hear me talk a lot of book knowledge. I have a degree in psychology, so I've been a counselor for a long time, and sometimes Dr. Gina will be talking, and sometimes Jean Marie will be channeling. So I've channeled a counsel. I also channel, if I'm doing a reading for you, I will be channeling some of your past relatives or gallery readings. But when I do my shows, usually I channel the council. And the council, I like to call them the CEOs of heaven. They're in charge of the Akashic records. They are very high spiritual beings. They are, like I said, they run heaven, I like to call them. So I channel them a lot, and they help me with my subject matter. And my guide, Christopher, when I first started channeling the council, he would help me interpret them. And he's still always with me, but I usually now just directly channel the council. So I will come in and out between channeling and also regular me talking. sometimes when I channel, it's funny, it's kind of like sleep paralysis. Like, so I'll be talking about something, and me, like regular Gina, I hear what they're saying. However, I am regular me listening, but I can always stop. I know I've listened to Abraham talk. I think that's Esther Hicks. And when she does her shows, she channels Abraham. And that's like, and Esther herself will go into a channel for like the whole show, the whole gallery, which is, like an hour. And then she'll come out. But it's different for me because I will not stay in that channel the whole time. When I channel the council, I will come in and out. So I'll channel, and like I said, regular Gina, Dr. Gina will come out, and I'll interpret, and I go back and forth. So sometimes, I'm channeling, and sometimes I'm not. I don't, a lot of my clients can tell when I am, and a lot, especially like if you're sitting with me or if you watch me on tape, I know my eyes do something a little different. But it's hard to tell when I'm just me here. But I'll tell you, when I listen to my shows back, I learn because when I'm channeling, I get information too, downloads from the council. So, like I said, you'll get a mix of everything, and we'll see how it goes. So today I want to talk about mind, body, and soul to balance. Now, this is my group on Facebook as well. So if you ever want to go to my Facebook account, you'll see that I have a group, and I have some of my regular clients in that group. And I created a group so that everyone could work together, help each other. The people that I put in this group are pretty much been doing a lot of work with me and themselves, and they've been working on this whole body, mind, soul, the whole balance. And I created this group so that it can have, a lot of people that like-minded to talk to. And I wanted to be a little more active in it than I have been. I started out being active in it, and I got busy, but I would like the people in that group to interact, and as people work with me and they become my clients, I put them in that group. Now, probably, I remember when I was doing my master's degree, I did my master's degree on a program that was the mind, body. At the time, I called it mind, body, spirit. When I was doing my master's, I graduated in 2006, so it was a while ago. And I did lifestyle redesign as an occupational therapist. And I used MOHO for my theory, the model of human occupation, because we had to have a theory. And I picked MOHO because it dealt more humanly, more the model of human occupation. It wasn't so much based in science as some of the other theories were. It was more, I guess, human, I could call it, more grounded. So when I was doing my program, that's why I chose that theory to use. And I used 3 circles. That was my logo. And it was mind, body, spirit. And I did that because when I first started working, I was a personal trainer. So I was a personal trainer for a long time. And when I was a personal trainer, I was young, teenager. I was in college still for physical therapy at the time, and I was a personal trainer. And I would have a lot of women, older women at the time that were probably 30s, 40s, that were either divorced or they were going through some type of relationship problem. Now, at that time, I'm late teens, early 20s. I still had the same boyfriend. I wasn't really caught up in the whole dating world or even understand it. I had one boyfriend and then another boyfriend. I was pretty much didn't really get the experience the dating world. So I would hear these women come in, and I'm training them, and they would always be complaining about this guy or that guy. They always, had this different drama going on. And I was just their personal trainer. And at the time, I was in school for physical therapy. And I went to Drexel and got my associate degree there as physical therapy assistant. And then I realized, I can train these women. I had a lot of women clients, but their mind is still messed up because, they're like, oh, and I ate a whole bunch of ice cream because of me and this guy or da-da-da. And I realized, hey, I can meet these women in the gym every day, but I can't control their mind. So I was like, I'm going to get my bachelor's degree in counseling psychology. So I went to NYU to get my degree in that because I thought I would be a better trainer if I understood the psychology of all this. And that's what drove me to get my counseling degree so that I could combine my personal training with that. And then, I had that, and I was still personal training, and I started counseling people, and I did a lot of drug and alcohol counseling. I did marriage counseling, and I worked with people with dual diagnosis in prisons, and I did counseling for probably 4 years. And at that time, I was thinking, okay, now I was trying to figure out this whole person thing at the time. I was going through so much. The mind, the body. I was like, mind, the body. I was getting this down. And then I was in school for my master's in occupational therapy, and I chose that, again, because it looked at lifestyle redesign. I wanted to learn how to help people live a healthy lifestyle. And I concentrated my studies on lifestyle redesign. I did different programs, and I also got my degree in nutrition from SUNY College in New York so that I could combine all this. And I'm working with all my clients, and I kept trying to get like the perfect mix. Okay, now personal trainer, physical therapy, I got my counseling degree. Now I was thinking I can really help these people now. I'm combining all this stuff that I have. And I was like mind, body, spirit at that time. It was still spirit at that time. So I was helping them with their diet. I was helping them, psychology, counseling. I was putting all these things together. But there were still some things missing. At this time, again, I didn't know. I got my doctorate degree in 2011. So still then, like less than 10 years ago, right? I was a medium. I was born a witch. I was a medium since birth. That hasn't changed. But I was still kind of doing that on the side. I was on that TV show, Rescue Inc., Pet Psychic. But it was more like I was doing it as a pastime. I still was in the spirit thing. I didn't understand as much as I did then. I was probably channeling to counsel then, but I really didn't know exactly who it was until probably 5 years ago when I started asking, who am I talking to? And then they told me the counsel. And I was like, okay. And then, so probably for the last 5 years, I've been channeling the counsel and doing a lot of work with them. So recently, in the last 5 years, is when I looked at mind, body, spirit and said, spirit to me, like I talk to dead people all the time, that's spirit to me, I talk to spirit, they're spirit. But soul is us, the living person, us. We're the soul. So I recently changed what I do to mind, body, soul. So now I thought, okay, I finally got it. I can combine. I got my nutrition degree. I got my degree in counseling. I was a therapist, my occupational therapy degree in lifestyle redesign counseling. And now, like I said, I channel the counsel. I look at your Akashic records. I'm like, great. So now I take my clients and I combine all my book knowledge with talking to spirit. And now I got the whole balance going, mind, body, and soul. But I realized until I put that soul together, I couldn't get everybody to where they wanted to be, whether it was in the gym, getting them to be consistent, getting them to reach their goals, whether I was changing their diet through my nutrition, or whether I was doing rehab for an injury, as a therapist, physical therapist, occupational therapy. I wasn't able to get them where they needed to be. And it wasn't until recently when I started looking at their past lives, because everyone's, counseling, even as a counselor, I was trained, hey, what happened as a kid? Look at what happened as a kid in their life, and this goes on and that goes on. And that never clicked with me, because I thought, if you know me and you know my childhood, or, I talk about it sometimes, hey, I have a fucked up childhood as much as like the next person who's sitting in jail. I'll tell you that. That was my lifestyle from birth. Like, my mother was killed when I was 2 months old, and that was just the beginning of before I was even born. Like, there was just, surprisingly, thank God I was smart, I guess, because a lot of people that I did grow up with didn't make it past 20, or a lot of people did wind up in jail, or a lot of people did wind up killed, and most of my family by the time I grew up. So I definitely was lucky I was smart because I made it out. However, I still have that background, and I thought, how is it for therapy that you want to keep bringing up to these people and drag them through. So when you were little, your mom got killed, and then you saw other terrible things in your life, and you had this, like if someone kept dragging that up to me, because I remember, like, even talking to my teachers after I graduated, they're like, oh, we felt so sorry for you. Like, I didn't drag up, oh, poor me, and I never got the concept of how therapists will drag up, like, that, and I never did it, because that's reprogramming your subconscious mind, pretty much. Like, oh, let's talk about all your trauma. Oh, let's bring it all up. That never really fit with me, because, okay, let's say you had it, but do we have to keep ripping the Band-Aid off, like, and keep revealing it and showing it? I never got that. And when I do talk to the council and I do look at, past lives and things like that, it's like, acknowledge it, for sure. Yeah, acknowledge that's what happened. But you can't keep living on it and using it. And this is what happened, and that what happened, and healing this and healing that. You got to put that where it was in the past and move forward from that. And that's how, like, I like to work with my clients, is looking at, okay, this is what happened, but not continually bringing it up to, like, and let's heal this again. Let's heal that again. That part never got to me. And I also realized something about the Catholic religion, because my mother was Catholic, and because she had me out of wedlock, her funeral wasn't allowed to be in the Catholic Church. And my grandma, like, went against the Catholic Church, and so I never had that, like, upbringing. However, when I was 20, I went and did all my sacraments myself. I, was always drawn to God and church, and not the institute of religion, but for sure God. I always speak to God. I believe in God. Like, I am, I'm not saying I'm Catholic, but I believe in God and the angels and that. I don't believe in the institution of it all, but I do believe in that. So I thought it was pretty crazy when I was getting into that Catholic religion that, wow, like, of course I committed a lot of sins by then. I just go in and I tell the priest all these rotten things that I did, and he tells me, here you go, Gina, here's the rosary beads. You say 5 Hail Marys and it's forgotten about. And I thought, every time I go back, I keep talking about the same sins, maybe bringing them back up again. And basically was told that once I did these 5 Hail Marys or whatever my penance was that I had to do, my sins were forgotten and never to be talked about again. And the priest couldn't talk about it no matter what I did. He couldn't talk about it, because you can't. He just can't give me my penance, what to do, and it's forgotten about. And I thought about that a lot then, and now, going into what I know now and all I've channeled, and I said, well, how's that happen, man? How's all my sins all forgotten like that? Just do it, this, and this, and bang, bang, bang. Everything's forgotten. And I realized, like, in talking to the council, that the things that I did do, they're supposed to be forgotten about. I'm not supposed to continue to dwell on all my sins that I did and how it's forgotten about just like that. That was yesterday or, last hour or whatever it was. And now we're moved on. And that's like the concept that I like to go with, really, because, and I can't say that I'm perfect with this, because I am down here being human for sure. And I do bring up to myself a lot of mistakes. Oh, I did this. If I wouldn't have done this, I did this. But I try to use that, like I always use that analogy that I use the ping pong ball. When the negativity comes at me, I take my ping pong paddle and kind of knock it back out, like, because I don't want it to get, embedded in my subconscious mind before it gets to me. So that's how I realize this, the whole soul balance here. That's more or less how I want to and do use my counseling. Like, we can acknowledge it, and maybe a pattern got you there. So let's break the pattern. Let's not talk about the end, what happened with your end, your sin or whatever you did. Let's talk about how we're going to heal the mind, the body, and the soul, how we're going to put those circles together so that we don't have another pattern of another sin or another mistake or whatever you want to call it to rehash and bring up again for me. And this is not easy to get all these circles matching for sure. Like, it's difficult, but I realized back as when I first started out as a trainer, and that's how I kept growing, is I had to keep combining the circles. I need this, I need this and this. And now I do have all the components of that, whether it's what I went to school for, what I was born with, or, from channeling what I've learned to this point with all my clients. And it's a big challenge every day. Every day I have to wake up and say to myself, this is a new day, and try to wake up and hopefully start with a meditation, to get my day started right. And then I'll do positive affirmations while I get ready and, try to eat like the healthiest breakfast. And then, I train martial arts, try to train to get my mind right and do my work with my clients, whatever that is that I have to do, my readings that time, or, get ready for a gallery show, whether it's go to a sauna or just I'm continually working those 3 circles, mind, body, soul, mind, body, soul. And I am able to talk to my spirit guides. I'm able to channel. I'm able to help myself in that area. And with my clients, I'm able to work with them in all areas, whether I'm looking at their diet. And again, I can look at their diet just through being, my nutrition degree. But I have to take it to, I have to look at where they come from. I have to look at their soul. I have to look what causes them to do that. I have to really look at everything because it's not just that easy, and which I didn't understand when I just was a personal trainer. I was just doing nutrition. But now I understand it's a balance, and that's why I call it the mind, body, soul, the balance, because it's intricate circles to get these circles all working together. It's continually readjusting, and you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes in all areas. You're going to make mistakes in your soul. You're going to make a mistake in your body. You're going to make a mistake in your mind. You're going to. But you have to just keep trying to get back in those circles again and fill them in. And it's difficult. It's not easy. And everyone I talk to, my clients, everyone's program that I have them on is different. I do have some people journaling where other people I don't, because they're never going to do it. That's not what they're going to do. So I have visualization. Like, it all comes to what it is you need for yourself. And I know that like therapy has become like a fad for people. And before a lot of my clients had started working with me, they would have their own therapist. And sometimes they come in the therapy, which is supposed to be helping them. All they do is sit there and talk about all how mistakes they made and bringing it up. But it's not, again, it's the balance. You can't, just working with that therapist isn't able to put all the circles together. And that's why some people are on medication or in that same therapy for so long. Like, I work with my clients, yeah, but do I want to work with them? Some of my clients, again, I talk to every day, but do I want to talk to them every day? Sure, of course. I like most of them. They become my friends. But the goal is for me to, get that down. It might be every day. Then I might talk to them 3 times a week. And then maybe 1 time a month, just for that refresher. But the goal is for me to give them those circles so that they can live their balanced lives the best they can themselves. And again, like maybe once a month, we'll check in or we'll do something like that, we'll graduate. But this therapy has turned into people for years. Like, they need to go see their therapist, this, and this, and this. And a lot of them have medication on top of that. Like, that for me just doesn't click. It's more like learning to feel from your soul, to learn what it is that you need to grow. And again, it's not easy. You're down here in this human world, and this human world is hard. It's hard to balance everything, especially if you have a family and, you do have a stressful job, and add all that in. And so you're stressed out. You're in the morning. You didn't have a chance to meditate because, you got your kids and you're getting your kids ready. So it's different. You have to learn. For me, like some of my clients that have kids, and obviously those kids are getting up, they're trying to get them ready for school. I teach them different ways. Like, after you drop the kids off, you can just listen to affirmations in your car. Like, everybody has something different. Of course, everyone's not going to be the same, but to learn how to balance their particular life. And back when I got my master's degree, that's why I did my program in lifestyle redesign, because every lifestyle is different. And that would go for me to organization, like universal design is one of the things I studied in school. And that is basically, I would go into people's houses a lot of kids with disabilities. I worked with their families, and I would organize their whole house, their cabinet, their living room, everything. I would have to, I used universal design, sensory integration. People call it feng shui, but that's not what I call it. For me, it's just like energy. I can feel in a house or what I need to move around for that child or for the family to function. Because some people don't understand that their living arrangements are messing them up totally. They're living in such sensory overload that there's no way, and again, I did this with children, a lot of families, there's no way a child can function, especially a child with sensory integration disorder, which I worked with so much sensory overload. Or even an adult, it just doesn't happen because you're running, if you're not organized and you're running out of the house in the morning and you got to find out, where did I put my keys if you don't have a special place for the keys? Or, you need to have your water bottle, say you're going to work. You need to have everything completely organized and ready to go. And some people can live in that chaos, the mess. There are people that say, actually my father's one of them, but, I don't know where everything is in his crazy mess. But what they don't understand is that's not, it's not healthy for you to be that way. It's just not, you've heard the saying, cleanliness is next to godliness. For me, I'm OCD clean, everything has to be clean and organized because then I can't think. And I know everyone's not like that, but it is good practice to be like that because it does calm your sensory system down and it is more organized for you. And that's a part of, again, the mind, the body, the soul, the balance. It's having your organization. Your organization might not be as like someone else's, but it's to the point of your organization. We'll put it that way, where it is you can be organized. And I worked a lot in Manhattan, a lot of, penthouse apartments, a lot of big apartments. And some of the families I worked with would have 2 and 3 nannies for each child. So I would have to individually work with each nanny to help them with each child because you have 3 nannies with different children. You got such sensory overload. Everyone's working in chaos. And a lot of these wealthy families will have 3 or 4 nannies again. They'll have a driver, a whole bunch of people. So I would have to organize everybody to work together. And it's difficult. And that's why a lot of people and a lot of wealthier people too that do have this more help where they think their house is having more help because they have, this whole crew in conjunction. It's not balanced. And there's a problem there. It needs to have a balance. Everything needs to have a balance in life. It's kind of like the yin and the yang, the balance of the flow of things. And I can read energy and feel energy, so it makes it a little easier for me. But I like to help my clients try to find that balance with anything. And even when I did counseling, couples counseling and therapy like that, it was so much movement from the way the couples ate together or anything. It's just so much balance of the energy and the way it moves and feels. And the only way you can really feel that energy is just by sitting and calm. People are so anxious sometimes, and I found this a lot with people I worked with, that they're not able to calm their mind enough to actually figure out what the chaos is because their mind is continuously in that chaos. And I found this when I was a personal trainer, even working out. People will come in and they might be doing 20, 30 minutes of cardio, hard cardio, sweating to death, just so anxious. But it's really that anxious cardio has them in such stress and anxiety that, okay, you might be burning some calories, but it's not actually working the balance, the mind, the body, the soul, the balance. Again, it's just really finding what calms your soul, what feeds your soul, so that you can balance all this together in conjunction. And again, it's a dance. It's the 3 circles, that the organization, the balance of bringing it all together. And it's not easy. It's not, but it can be done. And then throw in, like I said, I've worked with children with autism, children with disabilities. Throw in just a regular, typical developing child or 2 into a family. Now you have a whole nother dynamic that you have to balance, a whole 2, 3 other lives of children. and the stress that puts on. And it's balancing that again, and it's again a continuous dance. And another thing that, families I would have to organize, I would put in different days for families, so they would have different healthy days, whether they all went hiking or they all went horseback riding, like to put that activity in to your normal life. You need to do that, or you all go in the kitchen. I used to have the kids cook with the parents and learn how to healthy shop and put that in a balance. It's continually working those three circles to make sure that you and your family have that balance and you're moving and working together. So I hope you guys are interacting in chat. So feel free to start writing some questions in chat. So when I open that chat, we're going to come in and address any of these questions. So right now is the time on my show that I do a general reading. So if it's your first time listening, I use the tarot deck for this. And I'm not a tarot card reader. However, I do and have read tarot cards. The way I read tarot cards probably isn't like a tarot card reader reads cards, because I really don't know the meanings of this card is this card and that card. I just asked the council how I could give a reading over this show if I'm not doing call-ins, and they told me to do this. So I usually just do a spread. I pick some cards and I listen to the council interpret the reading, and then I say to my listeners, whoever this reading resonates with, this reading for you. So that means if I'm saying the reading and you're like, oh, that sounds like me, that's probably for me, then this reading is probably yours. And then at the end of the reading, I add a manifestation, because I always work on manifesting, because we're energy. So we always are trying to manifest whatever it is. Some people want to manifest a job, a raise. Some people want to manifest, a new partner in their life. Some people want to manifest a new house. Whatever it is you want to manifest. So people have blocks in manifesting because they feel like it's unattainable. So say someone wants to get like a new car. Say they want to get an Audi or something, and they think they don't have enough money for the Audi, or their budget doesn't cover the Audi. That manifestation could be hard because they put a lot of blocks on there. Like their mind is saying, I can't, how am I going to afford this and that? So I start with small manifestations for practice. And I'll say, like, try to manifest, bring in, a sword or into your life, and people will see a sword and they'll say, I saw a sword, because I'm just saying manifesting an Audi is just as easy as manifesting a sword. Once you relieve the subconscious mind, the block, and you understand that we're just energy and this world is a catalog, and basically whatever we want, we can pick out that we have. And yes, why haven't I manifested my mansion yet? Because I too have blocks, When I was younger, manifesting was super, super easy. Always easy. I always got everything. And again, if my last 5 years of my slippery slope, I had lost that manifestation because I lost a lot of self-confidence. I lost a lot of things that puts the block on my manifesting. So I kind of say that I'm right there with you. So I haven't manifested my, mansion yet, but because I too have these blocks. Like, how am I going to get this? And it's something, again, that I continually work on, the mind, the body, the soul, the balance. Because, yes, I want to manifest my house with my pool inside and outside. I want that. But I too have to continually work the balance so that my manifestations can come to life. So I work with small manifestations. So once you see how easy it is to get a small manifestation, you'll realize getting a small manifestation is just as easy as getting a big one, but it's just letting go of what you feel is stopping you. So anyway, I'm going to do the cards, and if this reading resonates with you, this reading's for you, because this reading, whoever this is for, it could be for 2 or 3 people. Some of the reading could be for one person, some for someone else. It's for whoever's listening. So even if you're listening to the pre-recorded, it's already, could be for you too. So I picked 5 cards from the Rider-Waite deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And I'm going to channel this reading. So let's see. Okay. So you've been going through a lot of struggles lately. You feel like there's so many obstacles that you feel strong. You feel like you can take on these obstacles. You feel like, I got this. Here comes another obstacle. I got this. You feel like you're conquering and that any obstacle that comes along you can handle. But you feel like there's just another obstacle always popping up. And it's just coming out of nowhere. And you're one obstacle after another. But again, you still have the faith that you're going to do this. And right now you're kind of like spread out. You're kind of either you have like 2 jobs, or you might have 2 boyfriends, 2 girlfriends, or you might have 2 or 3 of something. You're trying to juggle something. Again, whether it's 2 jobs, 2 homes, or 2 partners or something. And you're kind of just like, oh man, I don't want to juggle this no more. I do want to have, this one relationship, or, I want to have one passionate job that I like. You're just like, you're getting exhausted from juggling multiples here. But you are looking to, you haven't figured it out yet, but you know that it's something you want to claim. You want to be, again, in this one relationship or in this one passionate job. You don't want to continue to juggle. However, you still have a few options that are running out of your head. You haven't quite come to what it is, but you're leaning towards choosing one, but you haven't chosen one yet. Okay. You're also looking towards, like, you would like to live in a warmer climate. Like, you're looking towards moving in with a partner and being in like a warmer climate. It's like you want to have nature and animals around you. This looks like the choice that you're tending towards. You're like, that's kind of what I want to do. And it does look like you're tending towards getting into a relationship and possibly moving towards nature, where, again, there might be like, it could be Florida because there's like a lot of little lizards popping around. Could be Florida. It's something that's crossing your mind here. This is definitely a lot of Leo energy in this reading here. It just says, like, your birth month, which, I hear August, would be like, by August, you're going to have like all this straightened out, all this mess that is going on, these choices and everything. By then, it looks like, you persevered and you will get through everything, and you'll be more on a steady path by then. Lots of wealth coming to you, lots of opportunities, all new opportunities. Yeah, steady income is coming to you. You will be working with another partner, it looks like here, but you will have many opportunities, many ways income is coming towards you. Okay, so that is your general reading, whoever this resonates with. And on the manifestation for you to see is the infinity sign. So when I say that, it's like you're going to manifest seeing the infinity sign. So that will come to you, just again for a practice. Manifestation is the infinity sign. So I'm going to bring Shay on, and we're going to go through chat, and we're going to answer questions. So any questions that you have, again, chat is active. So just go in chat, put your questions in there, and let us know what you have to say. Let's see. Hello, Shay.
Hey.
Hello. Do we have any questions in chat tonight?
So far we have one.
Okay.
We also have some new faces in the chat, so I'm going to do a quick shout out to everybody that's in the live chat that have said something. Mm-hmm. That's the only way I can see their names. We have other people in there, but I can't tell who they are yet.
Okay.
So far we have Joanna, we have Rena, we have Nico.
Hello.
Of course we have Matt.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Joanna, Rena, Nika.
We have Krista. We have Deb, my mother, Deb.
Oh, hi. My mom is Shay.
We have Mish in there, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
And I don't think I missed anybody. Joanna, I believe I said it. And Joanna is claiming the reading.
All right. I like it. I forget what it was because it was chat over. I'll have to listen to it again. But Well, thanks to everyone for listening, and whoever's not in chat saying hello. Hello to all you too, and whoever's listening to the show after we recorded it. Hello to everybody there. So,
and Jennifer, sorry, Jennifer's here.
Oh, hi, Jennifer. She's my manifestation queen.
Yes.
If it's my Jennifer that I'm talking about. If it's her.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure. I think she changed her profile picture, but I think it is. We do have a question.
All right, okay.
And I want to read. It has to do with trauma. It's from Krista, and I want to clarify that she's asking if it's okay to talk about trauma in every way, good or bad. For example, is it okay? What about like creating something out of your trauma, like making comedy about being an abuse victim to help other victims not feel so alone? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. I'm going to totally channel this question so I can answer better. So hold on for a second. So it definitely one of the reasons that people do go through trauma here, one of the reasons is because some of the souls here chose that they want to go through that, and they chose that so that they can either elevate their soul by going through that, or they have soul contracts with others who would be, one of the abusers or, and they also have contracts where maybe they would go through the abuse so that they can help the humans down here. So they can go through that abuse too, whether talk about it, write a book about it. But that's different than reliving it as a victim. Reliving it as a victim is, and this is why I'm this again and again and again. Yes, that's why you're this. But to heal from it is what she's talking about. So that would be to use that as a platform to help others, to show that you can heal from this. Yes, you will have to look at this, to face it, to bring it to light, but you're not going to relive it as that victim. You're going to relive it as the survivor that's been through it, that learned how to balance and bring things into life, to work with this, to help others to come through that themselves. So, does that help her?
I think so. I think you answered it.
Yeah? Okay.
And I'm sorry, I missed Vicky earlier. I'm trying not to miss anybody.
Hello, Vicky.
And Rena says she about the reading. She has an infinity tattoo.
She does?
Yep. And
okay. Rena's funny because, like, everyone that knows, like, my spirit guides, my highest sign that a spirit guide can give me is a safety pin. My grandmother gives me bobby pins, let me know she's around.
Right.
Always angels give feathers. But my guides specifically, they'll give me a safety pin to show I'm safe. Like if I'm scared or I'm going through something, like, there's been times, obviously, when I had lost my job or something, I was like, God, and they're like, I would see safety pins, and I'm like, I'm safe, this is a sign. Or a paper clip, and that means it's coming all together. So when I first met Rena, I was doing readings at Choices. It's a store where I used to do readings. And she had come in, and it was basically in the heart of my trauma a few years ago, where I was just like, whoa, And she came in, and she had these big safety pin earrings in. And I was like, and she had a big safety pin, like hook or something on her. And I said to her, oh, my God, like, you have safety pins on. And, she was a client then at Choices, and she's a client, but she became a really good friend. And that's how I met her, is coming in with all these highest signs that you could see of the safety pins. So what was her question?
Well, she feels lost with work and would love some general guidance. So do you think if the infinity sign fits her, do you think that reading she should claim the reading?
Here's the thing about the manifestation. The manifestation is separate from the reading, so that just means I give something to manifest. That's a practice manifestation. So that means that's a manifestation. But as far as like her work or being nervous, I like to tell people, like for me, again, when I am nervous or I feel stressed and I talk to my guides and I say, oh my God, like, how's this month going to work out? Blah, blah, blah. And then they'll show me like 5 safety pins. I'm safe, but they give me a sign. So it's like you want to talk to your team, your spirit team. So what you can do, like that was the manifestation for the practice. But what you can do is say, listen, talk to your spirit guides and your ancestors and your dead relatives, your loved ones, and say, listen, like I'm really having a hard time here. I just want to know, because for me, it's like I just want to know I'm okay. It's kind of like when somebody calls me for a reading and a channel, and I pretty much say, hey, you're going through this, but I see a light. So I do have my one lady that I call, but I do like to talk to my spirit guides, and I'll say like, hey, oh my God, can you show me a sign? Like, and then I'll see like 5 safety pins or a bunch of paper clips. One time, like it was a whole day of like paper clips, safety pins, money from, my loved ones showing me like coins, and angels showing me feathers. It was just like, wow, okay, this is like amazing. And I definitely always write about this on my Instagram. I'll be like, I'll ask specifically for something from my grandma. I'm like, show me a red rose, and then there'll be like a red rose sticking out of something crazy. Like, I ask for that because just for me to see that, I'm like, oh, thank you. But, that was kind of like last year, year before. Now I'm just like, I laugh and I go, okay, enough with the safety pins and the bobby pins and blah, blah, blah. I go, show me the money. I get to the point where like I was asking for safety pins. Show me a safety pin or a bond. And I thought, what the fuck am I asking for? Show me the money.
Yeah, drop me some money.
Like, why am I wasting my time asking for a safety pin and a bobby pin and everything else? Like, it's great, but this is not what I want, But, it's easier for them to show me a safety pin, a bobby, because that's easier because there's no blocks on that. Like, I don't care if I see a safety pin. Yeah. I do because like, I know that's super cool, but I have this block on, show me the money or show me the house or whatever it is, because I'm like, how am I? But it's that easy to ask them to show you the freaking house, show you the new job, as it is for to show you the bobby pin. And once we can get that right with our energy and understand it's the same, that's when the things start to show up. And trust me, I'm not there yet. I try. I might know, but like, I'm not calling you guys from my mansion.
It's easier to give advice than follow it.
Yeah. Like,
it's hard to follow your own advice. It really is.
It is, yeah. But, I definitely know that I'm a hell of a lot better than I was sitting here last year.
Yep.
And way better than 2 years ago.
Amen.
And by 3 years ago, I'm not sitting and worrying about going to jail. So, yep. I'm a hell of a lot better. It gets better. But when you dig yourself so low into that negative garden, like I have and many people have, it doesn't just pop out overnight. Like, there's work to be done, for sure.
Yep. So. We have a couple more questions. I'm going to ask Nico's first. Nico is new to this show. This is his first time listening. I know Nico, so I know this is the first time listening to the show. And he came in a little late, so he has a couple questions. And he would like to know if you could explain channeling. When you say channeling, what exactly do you mean? He's just trying to understand better. And how did you discover your spirit guides?
Okay. So, I did talk about this, but I'm going to reiterate it because he did come in late. I channel, which means that, like, when I talk to, I'm a medium, so if you ever had anyone ever had a mediumship reading with me or been to one of my gallery shows, like, some mediums will hear things, like, I have, like, what they call it, declares. I can see everything, because I take myself and I take my spirit, my soul, and I go to the other side. A lot of mediums say that they meet them halfway. That's why it's called a medium. You meet them. I actually bring myself over there, and that's why my details are really intense, because I'm over there with them. So when I channel, what I do is I take my energy and I bring myself over to where they are so I can hear them talk to me. So I channel possibly different than other people. Some other people will let that spirit come in their body, which, sometimes that happens to me. but I actually go and listen to them. I bring my energy out to listen to them, to bring back in. And I don't know how, I've heard other people channel differently, or I'm just saying that's how I do it. Like when I'm talking to dead people, I actually take myself out of my energy, kind of like astral travel myself, and I go to where they are. And it's like the house of mirrors. I just bring myself there. And sometimes they come to me and I stay here, but a lot of times I go find them. And it goes back and forth. I do it different ways all the time. It's like I call it the house of mirrors. Sometimes I sit here and let them come directly into me. Sometimes I go find them. And sometimes I meet them. I channel. Like everyone's different. Like it's kind of just like talking to a regular person. You know, depending on their cognitive ability, you talk different. Depending on the spirit, where I got to go, I channel different. And I just been doing it for my whole life, so I guess it's just used to it. It's kind of like spirit memory, kind of like muscle memory when you lift weights, kind of like spirit memory. I just know where I have to go.
How did you connect with your spirit guides, and how can he connect with his spirit guides? How did you discover your spirit guides, and how can he connect with his? Sorry.
Okay, so how I can discover mine is like they just always talk to me because I can hear spirit. But how people can talk to theirs is just like I said. You start small. You say, "Hey, spirit guides," because you don't really know their names, right? You say, "Hey, spirit guides, can you show me," again, mine are paper clips and body pins. "Can you show me," if you pick something, say you want to see like the clover, whatever you want to choose your spirit guide to show you. You go, "I want to know you're here. Can you show?" And you start asking them to show you something. And then once they show you that, you start understanding they're here. They're here. Like I said, I used to do all the time. "Show me a paper clip," till I got to like, okay, I know they're here, you know. But when you're just starting to want to know they're here, you can start small by just show me this or show me anything. I ask my spirit guides. If I have a question, like if I wanted to know something about like someone I thought did something shady to me, or maybe a guy that I used to date or something, I'd want to know, like, if he's talking to that girl, I would just ask, and the way they would show me, and my friend Joanna will contest this, she's on there, like, I get the answers insane. Like, my boyfriends or, you know, guys or a date would be like, "Oh, you're doing this," like, they think I was, like, Sherlock Holmes, but I just asked my spirit guides, "Hey, this is what I think," and they would come out with all these freaking, I would get phone calls from people I don't know, or crazy things, or messages, or pictures from people, like, I didn't even have to do nothing. And these guys I was with thought I was like, sure, I didn't do nothing. And Joanna would know, like, this way that things came to me was just like, I just asked, and they show you. That's just that easy. And because I don't have no blocks on that, you know, but if you have a block on wanting to see or talk to your spirit guide, they might not present themselves so easily, because that I definitely don't have blocks on, so it's really easy for me. But if it's hard for someone, you start small again, like pick something you want them to show you, and then you'll start to feel and know they're there and go from there.
So you build up to it.
Yeah.
Where? Sorry, the chat's moving pretty quick here.
Okay.
Vicky has a question.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "I feel like I'm getting stuck with manifestation. Not sure if I can't relax enough to open up my thoughts. Any advice?"
So she's getting stuck with manifesting. Like I said, and I've been talking about this, I get stuck with manifesting. It's not easy. It's not. That's why you have to start small. Like I said, manifest the infinity sign. You got to start small so you build up the trust to know that, hey, I wanted to manifest an infinity sign. I saw 10 of them today, you know, and just like, shit, now I want to manifest $100. I really need $100. And then all of a sudden you get $100 from someone that you didn't know you owed you money. And you're like, holy shit, that's great. Well, I want a new job. You just start like that. It builds up trust.
It's confidence and trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I guess I have a question. It doesn't, if you're trying to manifest $100, it doesn't necessarily have to mean you find a $100 bill on the ground. Can it just be like you save $20 on this thing and then you end up with an extra here and, you know?
Yes, exactly. Or like your bank's like, we overcharge you for this, or the electric company says you paid this twice. Yeah, exactly.
It's not always as clear as there's $100 bill on the ground.
Right. Yeah. And that's with everything too. Like, you know, say you wanted to manifest like a dress. You wanted to go somewhere and you wanted a really nice dress, and you're like, oh my God, how am I going to buy this dress? And your friend's like, oh my God, my mom gave me this dress and it doesn't fit me. You know? So it can come anyway.
You just have to look for it and recognize it.
Yeah.
Okay, we have one more question, but first, Joanna says, so true, I do the same, and 1,000% of the time they showed me what I needed to see.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
I always love reading her comments because she has some
well, Joanna is my best friend.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of those girls in there are my clients who turned out to be really good friends, and Rena and Michelle and Vicky and Krista, and you know they were clients, and they're like, I love my clients, man. They became my friends.
Nico has another question. Nico's not this talkative in his own chat, so I think you got his attention.
And he has a show?
He's one of our new hosts, yes. He is from Phantom Science on Sunday nights. So.
All right.
Nico, Gina, Nico. There we go.
Hello.
He wants to know, how old were you when you first discovered you could astro travel, and what is your first memory of it?
Oh, since I can think back, just like I started seeing dead people, I was astro traveling since, you kind of remember when you're 2 and you ate those asparagus you didn't like. I remember when I was 2 and I saw dead people all the time, and I astro traveled almost every single night, all the way up and all the time until I was a teenager. I just stopped astro traveling probably 7 or 8 years ago because I used to do it all the time. Like, and I can if I still want to. I don't want to because it's kind of exhausting and stressful, and I just don't do it no more. But my first memory with astro traveling was, again, back when I was 2, and I used to always astro travel over to my friend's house. My friend Brenda lived on a farm. I lived in New Hampshire and Salem at the time, and Brenda had a farm, and I used to love all the animals there, and I didn't have a farm, and my friend Tina had horses, and I didn't have horses. So I would astro travel at night to either Brenda's farm or Tina's horses all the time.
Nice.
So they're my first memories.
Here's a question from me.
Mm-hmm.
Can you lucid dream?
Lucid dreams.
That means different things to different people, so. But.
Yeah, so for me, what I think lucid dream is, like, you're in a dream and you kind of, like, for me, it's visualization. That's what I think lucid dreaming is. Like, you kind of just play things out. And, I do it on purpose, and I do it.
Yeah.
But, and a lot of it I believe to be happening and stuff. For me, I believe some of it happens when I walk the astral plane, and I actually dream, but I'm hanging out with a bunch of people I know. And then sometimes I just do it for fun because I want to live whatever it is I do. So I don't know how other people, I heard different, like, I'm not big on the definition of what other people think lucid dreaming is. And I don't really study it or know much about it. But I think that's what to me, that's what it is. And
I agree.
Maybe more people have more intricate things that I don't know about.
Like, I can like rewind a dream. I can pause a dream. Like, and like,
dream.
And I can like change the color of a shirt or change the color and then start over. If I don't like where the dream's going, I'll just like kind of rewind it in my sleep and start at the point where I last liked it and start over.
Yeah. Okay. That's what. Okay. Yeah. That definition. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It means different things to different people. So.
Okay. Yeah. It's cool, and I have to. Again, it's not one of my biggest things, but now I might look into it a little bit.
Yeah. it's hard when you remember all your dreams, because I do. I remember all my dreams, and I have OCD even when I sleep. I control everything in my dreams, too.
You're lucky, because like I don't always remember my dreams. Sometimes I half remember them, and I'll be like, but if you set the intention, I realize that if I say, remember your dream, I do.
Yeah. I'm self-taught as a coping mechanism for nightmares when I was really, really little. So I taught myself to do this.
I see a lot of people do have nightmares and things like that, yeah.
Yeah. So that's another whole show, though. But it does help people that suffer from PTSD and nightmares and stuff like that. You can do it. It is self-taught. So, all right, we have another question from Rena. How do you get good at receiving your manifestations? I feel like I can manifest and I don't see it happening and miss my opportunity.
So she said, how do you get better at manifesting?
Yes, how do you get good at receiving it? Because she works at it and she thinks that she might be manifesting stuff, but she's missing it. Okay. She's not recognizing it when it happens.
Right. This is like, for sure, like, sometimes, I'm sure I even do this. I think, and then I'll like, oh my God, I did manifest that. So the best thing is to really not even like think about, like, if you're waiting for the manifestation, it's not coming. You know, you kind of forget about it. Just be like, set your intention, say what it is you want to manifest, and don't keep looking for it. Because the more you keep looking for it, the harder it's going to be to find. Just kind of let it go. And then all of a sudden, 6 months from now, you can pull out your journal and be like, oh my God, like I totally wanted to get like that new bed, or, you know, and here I am, I got it, you know, because you kind of forgot about it, but you did want to manifest it. So you can journal to keep a running total of how your manifestations worked out. And I know Rena's big on writing, so you can totally journal, and that's one way to check on it.
Thank you. We're bouncing back and forth between the two subjects here, and it's the way the chat's going. So I'm sorry if I'm confusing you, Gina.
No.
We're back on astral projection now. Do you feel like anyone can do it? Do you feel like anyone can do what you do in time, or is it something special about you?
Anyone can do what?
Astral projection. The mediumship.
I believe mediumship, the way I do mediumship, I was definitely born for this, and it's definitely something I do. Like, again, anybody can play tennis, but can anyone be Venus? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm sure anyone can do it to some point, but, you know, it's a level. Like, is anyone going to be God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant, but anyone can probably play basketball. But you have to have some inclination for it, for sure, you know. You can't teach everyone to play basketball, but you can teach people to have an inclination to play it, but then there's the people that are going to be, like, really good at it.
Right.
So it's the same thing with it. It's just different levels, that's it.
And is that where the intuition differs? Anybody can have intuition, but not everybody can talk to the dead, right?
Well, I mean, I'd say that, you know, not everyone, again, just go to, like, everyone could probably make some toast, but not everyone's going to be a top chef, you know?
Yep.
I think that's the best way to say it. This isn't any different than any other thing that people are good at or are born with, or, you know, there's kids that come out, and I've worked with them, that know what Picasso looks like when they're 2. You know, they definitely were born to be some kind of artist, you know?
Yep. It's kind of that nurture and nature thing. There's no real answer, because I don't think one answer fits everybody.
Right. Yeah.
So let's see if there's any more. Sorry, I'm going to have a coughing fit. I got to mute Gina. All right. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right. Shay's just getting over the flu, everybody. So thank her for coming in because I know she's been sick.
Yes. This is the easy.
And I got
this
my
is the
cat
easy show.
over here purring and taking a bath. She's
All
like
right.
laying on the bed.
I think we got all the questions, and I see a bunch of I love yous in there. I never know if it's Mish or Michelle.
I'm pretty sure it's Michelle.
But she does Mish, and that's, yeah. So Michelle, Rena, Krista, they're all saying they love you in there.
Oh, I love them, my girls.
And Rena says, good point. Thank you, Gina.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you. I want to thank Shay and Matt, of course. Paranormal Buzz Radio on Instagram, Paranormal Buzz Radio on Facebook and Twitter. And we can always listen to this on paranormalbuzzradio.com. So I want to thank everyone for listening to my show. And I will be back in 2 weeks. And everybody, happy manifesting.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Celebrate the big 2020 with T-Mobile. Switch now and get 2 lines for just $90 and 2 new iPhone 11s on us. So you can take a portrait built for 2 with the ultra-wide camera.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, cute.
Hurry in to T-Mobile and get 2 lines for $90 and 2 iPhone 11s on us with qualifying trade-ins.
Via 24 credits for well-qualified buyers with autopay, plus taxes and fees. If you cancel before receiving 24 credits, you may owe up to the full value of your device of $699.99. Contact us. Qualifying port-ins and finance agreements required.